Greeting, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Siloam TV, the Irene of Revival. And my name is Moses Mkare, and today I'm bringing you back to Chain Break. And we have a lot to tell you. We have a lot to discuss today. And in our studio, we've been visited by one of our guests, and I want just to give him an opportunity to say hi to you so that you may know him and get along with him. So welcome so much, brother. You can just introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Moses, and the Siloam TV fraternity. I really appreciate for these wonderful moments that have been given to be able to reach out to someone out there. My name's Ben Rogers Muredhi. I'm a counseling psychologist and a certified recovery coach in relation to issues with substance use disorders. And I run a program in Meru, a community-based program called the Dawn Recovery and Empowerment Center. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben, for joining us. We are so much humbled. We as Siloam TV fraternity, we are so much grateful for visiting us here. And I know you have heard his professionalism that he's been dealing with, but we are not going to go there today. We have something else for you, viewer, and for each and every person who is going to get this information, for you to learn and to obtain and to be able to gain more knowledge about it. So I want just to, today, like I told you earlier, we're going to discuss more about chain break. And what is the chain break? Last time I told you we're going to discuss matters to do with addiction. And today we're having Ben here with us, and he's going to discuss with us much more about what kind of addiction was he into. Because you see, he has told you that he is a professional in matters relating to health and all those issues. But now we're going to discuss about his journey. His journey before he became what he is right now. So I want you to give him an opportunity so that he can tell us more about what prospered to him here. But before that, let's get his background. So Ben, thank you so much. Now, you've told us your preference, but we love you to give us a brief history.
Yeah.
Give us the background. When and how did it happen?
One of the things that I can tell the viewers today is I'm a package of grace. It's grace that has brought me this far. Because growing up, I never had the opportunity to meet my parents or to know them. And the people I grew with, I thought they were my parents until one fateful day I learned that these were my grandparents. And of course, grandparents cannot be a parent. She can only play the role of a parent.
Yes.
So that really kind of emotionally hooded me. It wounded me emotionally, and I was kind of broken. But no one knew about it. It's only me who was struggling with it, because now I had so many unanswered questions. Why did my mother leave me? Who is my dad?
Yes,
and
yes.
deep inside there were all those wounds.
Okay.
And this person being my grandmother, she could not relate well to me, with me as a parent. So I started noticing some gaps. Yes, I'm eating, I'm clothing, and I'm going to school. But emotionally and psychologically, I'm wounded. I am crying inside. So when I got to high school, I was looking for a sense of belonging. I wanted to be identified with something.
Exactly.
You see, at teenage or adolescence, these young people are struggling with identity. It's a stage of identity and confusion.
Find yourself and trying to put yourself in a position of being known.
Exactly. I want to be known. I want to have someone listen to me. So that is when I got into the Form 2. Then I found these friends, these men from Nairobi. They had their lifestyle, and I was impressed with the way they were living, carefree life, you know, and all the sheng things, masheng na nini. So imbogi ikanifurahisha. So eventually I found myself in this group, and unfortunately they are drinking. So at Form 2 I started drinking. That is where I began. Yes.
And due to that influence now of the people around you,
Yes.
and exactly the family background and all the emotions, that it pushed you now to find yourself in that position of drinking. So now, how was the journey? How now from then?
Yes.
For how long were you now into it?
From that particular moment now, you know, when you're drinking, there is the experimentation. There were the days I'm experimenting, we are drinking now and then it became regular. You know, now every Friday as we are going for cross country, I would go drink with the people there. We would go in the villages, in Kobo villages, and drink there. And slowly, I didn't realize that I was being sucked into this unending hole. It was like a hole, because the more I tried to satisfy the emptiness, I mean, the more I tried to fill the void, the emptiness in me, the deeper the hole went.
Exactly,
you know.
exactly.
But at that particular moment, I couldn't see it because of the peer pressure. You know, I became a clown in high school, you know, joking about everyone and everything. And slowly I was getting hooked into alcohol and bangi.
Okay.
Slowly I was getting into alcohol and bangi. And because I didn't care about home. I didn't care about...
Because there's no
one to be accountable to.
Yes,
you know, my grandmother knows, umeenda shule, umerudi, mumefunga, mtafungua lini, a period. So even she didn't realize the changes that were happening to me. I think my grandparents realized that I'm drinking after 4 years.
Wow.
Because I would come very late at night, sleep, and then oversleep. I wake up kitu saa saba. I don't want to be seen.
Because the hangovers are still there.
The hangovers are still there. So eventually I was in the high risk stage. You know, when you get to the high risk stage is where now you can even steal to drink, whereby now you can drink at very wee hours of the night. You don't care. I would walk in the middle of the night, you know, I would wake up at 5 to go and look for a drink. Fortunately, I managed to complete high school with that same cycle. But something had happened to my grades.
Yes.
My grades had gone down. And, but then that time I didn't realize. And I think I didn't even care. Because there's no single day anyone sat me down to ask me, Bena, umepata nini kwa shule? You know, how many marks did you have? Which subject have you improved, you know? So there was no one, so I didn't care about it. And slowly I was getting sucked in. You know, in drinking, you take the drink, then the drink takes another drink, then the drink takes you. You see the progression?
Now it consumes you.
It consumes you. So by the time I'm completing high school, I was an addict. I was dependent.
Extreme now.
I think
comforting yourself.
Yeah, I think by the time I'm completing high school, I was in a lot of denial. Yes.
Okay, so now, now after completing high school, did you proceed to the university, or it ended there because of grades now and alcoholism and everything?
Yeah. I did not go to college.
Was it the reason?
I got a grade of C+. No, I think I had tried. But then from the way I was brought up and with my surrounding, they knew Ben is a very sharp student. He's a very sharp kid. So for me to get a C+, all I got were negativity, because I was a very sharp boy. I was a very intelligent boy when I was small. And now here, all of a sudden, my grade is looked at as failure. So I accepted I'm a failure. And I didn't even start looking for college. So now I started drinking heavily. Extreme now, you know. And then I didn't have anyone to guide me on how to look for a college.
Yes. Or to do anything.
Yes. Ben, you haven't joined the campus. I had no one to guide me on how to get a college and to enroll in a college. So I got into real drinking, you know, and I drank a lot because there was no future. I think I was blank to my future. So for so many years I drank, you know, stealing my grandmother's maize, you know, selling my clothes.
You sold your clothes?
Yes, you know.
To drink?
To drink.
Okay.
Now, you know, I'm in the dependence stage. I sold my clothes to drink. Mara ingine, I look around and I'm seeing makuku. Ninachukua zile mayai.
From your home or from
my
neighbor?
grandmother's place.
Okay.
The beautiful thing, sijaiba inje. Nilikuwa naiba kwetu. You see? So I started. Now it reached a point where my grandmother realized there's something wrong with me. Because mayai zinapotea, kuku zinapotea, you know, and
utensils in the house?
Yes. Vijiko, sufuria. You know, now I was so hooked into it that the craving was so obsessive. Like, nalala usiku naambia, God help me, I will not drink again. Early in the morning around 5, the craving is overwhelming.
Now,
so, yeah.
Now, okay, let me just cut you there. Okay.
Yeah.
The question is,
yes.
Of course, because now you told me, earlier you told me you were also involved in smoking.
Yes.
Were you still smoking?
Yes. I'm still smoking marijuana. You know, you are smoking and then you're looking at everything is like, you know, there's that feeling of euphoria. You feel as if you own the world, you know. I'm still smoking because now nothing matters. I've lost hope. My esteem is broken. So I'm just existing.
Now, you had friends.
Yes.
Now, those friends in that moment, because
yes.
you see now, anybody you say, we will know them with their company.
Yes.
Because we can judge your character with the company you have.
Yeah.
Now, the question is,
yes.
what about the friend that you had?
my friends, our group was called Ogopa Squad. Ogopa Squad, we were like around 7, that is in Kerua here. We were around 7 people. And now we could just drink ourselves to hopelessness, you know? Wewe ukipata kitu ya kupita nao kwenu, pita nao, we go drinking. If I get something from our side, then I steal it and we go drinking. Because, you know, addiction is a brain disease. But that time, we didn't know that. We didn't know it's a brain disease. It's a chronic brain disease. Now, much later is when I learned about this. Now we were so hooked that I would visit my friend, see a good trouser, steal, sell without him knowing, and buy for him alcohol with the money. Then he would come to our place and steal my shirt or trouser, sell. That was the life of Ogopa Squad. But then, fortunately, something happened, and I met a friend. He's late. He was a captain in the Navy. And one time I disappeared and I went to Mombasa.
Okay. For how long did you drink in that period of drinking? From now after you left high school?
Yes.
Now you continue drinking. Now, because you see, many addicted people, they have this series in their life where you realize that now they find themselves in mitaro, in war, violence, abusive language. They are so violent. You cannot even recognize them. And you know, like you've said, people knew you as a sharp kid.
Very intelligent, yes.
Now, are there any series in your addiction or in a period of being addicted that you realized that you became violent? You started fighting. You found yourself in the police custody. Like right now you told me you've been stealing, even stealing, you know, my eye is serious now. I'm dreading, So what are these series?
That was a period between 1995 all the way to around 2000. That was continuous proper drinking.
And smoking.
Okay. And during that period, I was in police cell so many times. My grandmother would put me in a cell, my uncles would put me in police cells, because not per se because I was violent, but I was so insultive, you know. I would scream the whole night. I would come home drunk at my grandmother's place. I climb on a tree and start shouting and singing at night, you know. Some other times I would go and break all the window panes, because of the pain inside. You know, what they are seeing is a drunkard. But what really is happening is a broken vessel.
And you cannot express it.
The pain, any pain, so much pain that I would scratch my face, that I would bang my hand on the wall. Because I see myself as a failure. I see myself as someone who has not been listened to. You know, there's that pain, the emptiness. And then I'm introduced to like 3, 4 fathers, you know. This is your dad, then a few years down the line, no, we think it is this one. And now I'm wondering, how can I be...
It's very confusing.
Yes, it's confusing me. So I'm so broken, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of the world. I'm so sick of myself. you know. So saa ingine I threaten kuchoma mahindi, with that only nafungwa cell, you know, na threaten mahindi yote nitachoma, napelekwa cell. I find myself there a whole week. I won't be taken to court. And now that is also paining me. If you guys really, you have a case, why don't you take me to court? You know?
You just keep me in the
cell.
Yeah,
you just keep me for no reason.
Just and then because I'm drinking.
Yeah. And some of them, these my uncles who are taking me to the cell, they are drinking. So I'm seated in the corner there, in a police cell, especially Kerua, and I'm wondering, why aren't they inside here? Because also they are drinking.
The same caliber.
Yes, you know. And then I went to Siloam, to my aunt, who I took as my mother. Then I started drinking. You know, that is a progressive way of drinking from 95 to around 2000. Now, I went to my aunt, also, kwa polisi. I've been to so many cells. And I remember one time even I was taken to the CID office and nikaweka huko 3 days, all because of drinking.
Now, were you married that period?
No. I'm not married.
It was just you and
it was me and the world.
Fun.
It was me and the world.
Okay.
It was me and the world, you know. And you realize now, in 1998, I met this Navy officer, Charles is late. Then he took me to Mombasa Polytechnic. And now things happened. When I arrived in Mombasa Polytechnic, yes, my family had given me money for fees, but they hadn't given me money for hostel.
Okay.
Because I was supposed to go and meet my uncle, who was a Navy officer, and he would organize where I would be sleeping.
Okay. When
I arrived at ferry, to cross to Likoni, then go to Mtongwe, I hear this man who is shouting kwa bus, ya jeshi, nimeenda Eldoret. Now, here I am in Mombasa.
Alone?
Alone.
The first
with
time?
Only the fees. No, I think it was the second time. Niko na only fees, and I'm going to school. So what do? I got into a club.
You drank the whole month?
I drank. But eventually I got into college, to fast track. I got into college, and then my seatmate was the son of one of the drug peddlers in Mombasa. So now I had the opportunity to get the money, to get alcohol. All I had to do was to go to Kongwea, get good mirror for him. Now, why am I doing all these things? There's something I want you to get, Moses. It's not because I love this lifestyle. It's not because I love alcohol. It's not because I'm so proud of what I'm doing. Deep inside, I'm broken. Now it has become a coping mechanism. I'm trying to cope with who I have become. I'm trying to cope with my broken life. You know, my life is so broken that kuna shida. Eventually, I was kicked out of that college, where we started selling drugs. Sikumaliza. I think a year down the line, I was kicked out. Sikumaliza. Because now we have become peddlers, tunauzia wanafunzi, we are selling drugs in college. I'm being sent, peleka huku, I've become a courier. And then eventually something happened, and these people disappeared. One night I'm going to their home and I found a lot of police in the compound, so I also disappeared. And now that the flow of the money, ikaisha. And now niko shule. So umaskini ikaanza kwa shule. I have nothing, and now it's to beg for food, and I was kicked out of the place, nilikuwa nalala, so I started sleeping in the street in Mombasa.
Okay, for now, at that period, after now college imeisha?
Yes, college imeisha. Now after that period, I'm in the street in Mombasa. There's a place called Ganjoni, where there are so many buses. So I would stay there, because knowing the mabasi zinaenda tu, so nakaa pale. Then I go to Mwembe Tayari during the day, help those people who are selling miraa. You know, by that time, I am still in denial. Sijakubali, mimi ni mlevi. Sijakubali, I have a problem. I'm still in denial. You know the way you think you're punishing the world, I'm punishing the world. And I have so many unanswered questions from my childhood. There are so many things that I haven't come to terms with. So one day, nikanguka kwa street in Mombasa. And this lady found me, and she put me in a bus, and I was brought to Meru. Now I went back to the village, Kerua, and joined the Ogopa squad.
You went back again
to the Ogopa squad.
Okay.
Okay. By now, the Ogopa squad has become notorious. Machicken haziwezi pita kwa hizo barabara.
Hakuna.
Yes, sitaki kuwataja majina. Machicken hazipiti manini, whatever we could find. So I sank deep.
I want to tell you something. You can see how transformed he is, huh? And there's much to come. So just hang out there. We are taking a short break, then we will back. We'll be back in a short while. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. Now, Mr. Ben,
yes.
Now you're back in Kerua.
Yes.
There. Now, what happened?
I'm back in Kerua now, and these preachers, they come, they are preaching, I get saved. I start even preaching. Then I relapse, I start drinking again. And during this period, I get into a relationship, you know, and a marriage that was very rocky and stormy. Of course, it never lasted. And we went different ways. And
you married
yes,
in church?
One afternoon in church, and after the service, we did this wedding. But then even before that, it was very rocky. It was very stormy. The day we'll be talking about relationship, I'll tell you about this.
Okay.
So it was very rocky. It never lasted. But we are good friends, and the kids are okay. Now, I am drinking bad by this time.
You were saved?
Yes.
You got saved? You started preaching?
And yes.
Then you came back?
Yes, the people I used to preach to, naomba mbao, ya changa. So
drinking, they know you are drinking?
They have seen me drinking now. They are seeing me in the village. So I went to Siloam, to my auntie's now place again, and I stayed there. And then something happened. I got back into church again.
Someone influenced you?
Yes, I met this pastor who understood me. You know, he was very kind to me, Pastor Mweti. We went to Zambia. I did a degree in theology, okay, in Zambia. Then I came back, and still I was struggling with the issues of the marriage. Then I started drinking again after Zambia with a degree in theology.
Okay.
Are you following me?
I am following.
Now, there is the stigmatization by the church, stigmatization by the family, stigmatization by the friends. I remember one time, nikikunywa changa, there's a place called Kambiaju, and then this seller, ananiuliza, na Zambia ulienda kusomea degree ya changa. You know, and you're feeling so empty, Moses.
Yes.
You're feeling so empty and lost. You don't have a place to run to. The church cannot touch you. A drunkard is a very difficult person. He needs a lot of patience and a lot of love. And now I was alone. Eventually,
Isolated.
and remember, my grandmother in Kerua, she has demolished the house. So there's no place to sleep in Kerua.
Okay.
My aunt kicked me out of her home. So I started sleeping in a pit latrine.
You have studied degree?
Yes, I have a degree.
In theology?
In theology.
People know you as a pastor?
They know, they
now
call me
you
pastor.
Sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm drinking. Sleeping on the road, saa ingine nalala kwa mitaro nanyeshewa. Literally mvua inanyesha na siendi na maji. So eventually I started sleeping in a pit latrine. And for 3 months, Moses. For 3 months. And there was even a period back there where I was sleeping in an old Land Rover before I went to Zambia, before this pastor saved me. Now, this is the second phase. I'm sleeping in a pit latrine. And all the smell, I got used to it. I would go for 3 weeks or 4 weeks without taking a bath. And we are not talking about 2000 or 1994. We are talking about 2019.
Just 2019?
2019. I came back from somewhere in 2017. 2019, namaliza 3 months bila kuoga. And I'm in a pit latrine, broken and empty and lost. And no one can touch me. No food, no nothing. So what I would do, I would clean sufuria ya dogi, hapo kwa auntie, so that when they put food for it, I would eat together with the dog. Yes. We've eaten kwa sufuria moja na dogi.
By then you were close to your auntie's place?
I am in the compound. There are houses, but the place I'm supposed to sleep imefungwa. Imengoloa mlango. In fact, ilingoloa mlango.
So that you don't...
So that I don't sleep there. So now, in this place, ninapandia kwa ukuta. I'm climbing over the wall. So even sleeping in this pit latrine is illegal. That is how bad addiction can be, my friends out there. Please don't try it. This is illegal. So I'm trespassing in this pit latrine.
Nobody wants you anywhere around them?
No. So eventually, I am there, and that is how my friends from high school heard what is happening to me. You know, they had seen the kind of work I was doing in Zambia. In Zambia, I had started a program for the street kids, a big program. We would have young people over 600. They had seen what was happening. And now they hear Ben Rogers is sleeping in a pit latrine. So they came looking for me.
These were good friends from your high school?
Yes.
Okay.
They came looking for me. They found me. And they took me to a rehab. It's called U-Turn for Christ in Gom. I stayed there for 3 months. Came out. I relapsed.
That is a Christian...
Yes, it's a Christian-based organization. Okay. I relapsed again. Why am I relapsing? I don't have a place to go. At home, there is no place. I have lost everything. I have nothing. You know, you getting into 40 and you have nothing. You know, you see your friends driving, you know, nicely dressed, and you're sitting and you're wondering, Mungu kweli nitawa yoga nikae kama hao. You know, you are so dirty that hata mtu akioga na baso unasikia ananukia vizuri. That's how tough it was. So eventually, I was in a rehab. I got into a rehab. Then I got into another rehab in Kisii after relapse. No, the second time now.
The second time.
So during the second time in the rehab, I realized watu wanakuja wakiwa wachafu, watu wanakuja wakiwa wanatukanana, and when they meet me, they calm down. So when I speak to them, they are coming down and listening to me. And then my eyes, I was like someone waking up to the fact that there is something that God has deposited in my life that's beneficial to the world out there. And during the counseling, number one, I was trying to forgive myself. So I forgave myself. I accepted that I have messed it. I accepted hapa ndio niko. Sina kitu, sina uhusiano mzuri. I have no good relationship with God or with people. So at the rehab in Kisii, I cultivated a personal relationship with God. I told him, it's me and you, this journey now.
So you accepted yourself?
I accepted myself.
So it started from there now?
Yes, I accepted this is where I am. I have lost it. I have wasted my years. I have been a mess. And that's where my transformation started.
Wow.
And I stayed there. I taught people. I was given an office in a rehab. I started training the guys. I started counseling them. Remember, I have a background of theology. So niko na Biblia.
Yeah.
Now the Holy Spirit has come in.
Fully.
Yeah, Holy Spirit ameingia sasa anaitengeneza. So there's a lot of anointing with what I'm doing, and there's a lot of changes. And then eventually I left there. I came to Meru. There was a period of COVID, 2020. Then I came to Meru, a place called Charia. I didn't have a place to go. So I went and told this mzee, he's called Mr. Rueto. Then I told him, please nipatie accommodation for 3 months. I couldn't go home. Where? These people still, they are looking at me the way they were looking at me.
Media.
So I went to this old man, he gave me accommodation, I stayed 3 months. Kidogo, I got a job in a Harmony Therapy Center. It's a rehab in Kobo. I started working in a rehab.
Wow.
I worked for 6 months, and I was like, why don't I start a support program? Because I realized there are so many people out there. That is how the Dawn program was born. Now, to be able to reach out everyone, you know, if you don't have money, I will come and help you. We'll talk about it. That's how it was born. Then I realized now, okay, I need to go back to school. This is an old man going back to school. So 2022, I enrolled for Masters in Counseling Psychology, and I've completed the classwork. Now I'm just doing my research. And but the most important thing is that those friends from high school, they kept following me, even up to date. I have to tell them, to give them a report of what is going on in my life. And then I accepted that there are things in my life I will not be able to change. I'll not be able to bring back my parents. I'll not be able to change my grades. You know, I will not be able to change the fact that my age mates wako mbele yangu. That's a fact. Wanaendesha magari mazuri wako fiti. I cannot change that. And if I harbor bitterness and I feel bad about them, then I'm killing myself. Why can't I live day by day and trying to improve myself? So I started on a journey, slowly, day by day. I lived day by day. And now the acceptance came back, you know. And I accepted the fact that there are things in life we cannot change. And there are things in life we can change. And I prayed God to give me the wisdom. There's a prayer called serenity prayer. We say, God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, and the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's my daily prayer. That's my daily walk.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, oh my goodness. You can realize the journey and the transformation that is so powerful and so great. And you see, there are so many chances and so many opportunities someone can get so that you can change, or you can move from one point to another point. And if you listened to him keenly, you realize that so many times he had the chance to change. So many times he had the opportunity to get the transformation, even to the point of studying theology degree. You can imagine. And still, there was emptiness there. But he has said something, a very strong point, acceptance. So I want you to just, even if you're not going to try anything, just take that act, because it starts with what you are. Can you accept the situation you are? And you realize what, after accepting, even in that rehabilitation center, after accepting that and forgiving himself, put that clearly, forgiving himself, then the transformation, because you see, even the Bible says, if you forgive others, God will forgive you, but also you yourself, can you accept that you are undergoing something, so that now you can receive that forgiveness, you can receive that transformation.
And Moses, allow me to mention, God would place all these many opportunities, but the reason I went back and relapsed is because I hadn't dealt with what was troubling me.
Exactly.
You see? The underlying issues. I hadn't faced them. I hadn't faced my pain and accept that I need to change this. So, hiyo kutojikubali, hiyo kutokubali something is not well. I hadn't accepted. And that's what messed me.
Exactly. So you see, now, sometimes we undergo situations that you realize, like, okay, you're seeing everybody in the world is isolating you, but you think that they're the people with the problem, but actually you need to look the inner you, because you see, you need to realize what is happening. Is it first the deepest of you? Is there anything going on in you? Now, when there's something going on in you, you realize that now, of course, so this is what is happening. Now, let me deal with the inner me first, and then let it come up, because you see, within you comes the physical you. It portrays everything. So I want to get that clearly. And before we finish and before we conclude this program, I want to give him an opportunity also to tell us something and to give us just a small thing that will give you a word to the people who are struggling out there. Because I know there's someone out there, or a friend, you have a friend, a family, any member, whom you've seen them struggling. And they've been undergoing this situation. And you can see Mr. Ben here, he's different. Even apart from all these things that happened, there's something that changed. And there's something that we have learned. I've learned something that he has told me right now, is that he took a step at a time. Because you see, I know you have wasted a lot of time, you who are addicted outside there, but there's a chance and there's an opportunity for you to change and be transformed and live a good life. So I want to give you an opportunity. Just tell us something, or say a word to those people who are not, have not changed, and those who are struggling.
Thank you very much, Moses. Once again, to the viewers, I want to tell you, if you listen carefully, I was struggling because of the underlying issues. Basically, my alcoholism was a presenting issue. But the day I faced my demons, if I may say that, I faced my demons, and I agreed, this is where I am, I have messed up, and I need help. You know, once you accept, when help comes, utasaidika. Because if uko na njaa, and you're not telling someone uko na njaa, no one will know. So I accepted myself, and I accepted the help when it came. Now, to someone there who was not trying drugs, there is a lot of false ideas about drugs. Vijana mnambo ukichoma bangi, you become very intelligent. That's a lie. Because one of the side effects of smoking is memory impairment. You realize you're losing your memory. So, and the drugs kill. Drugs don't make stars, they kill stars. And then there is a lot of media Advertisements, you know, aggressive media advertisement. You find those people advertising alcohol with beauty contestants, you know, with soccer stars. That is not the truth. Because most of the time they don't advertise with their people. They advertise with other people. They don't advertise with their customers. And you think that is how it is. Because no one can use a cast in a movie that is of addicts. They look for the best, but then the best use the props. And for someone struggling with addiction, I want to tell you recovery is possible. It is very possible. 2019, I was walking Meru town with a blue and a red slippers, and walking the streets of Kirokori. There's a friend there called Motuma. He's the one, Bestel, is the one who was feeding me. Naenda ananipatia food. Saa ingine ananiambia, namwambia sina viatu, ananipea viatu. Nasahau, nauza, narudi tena kumuomba viatu. You know, and I want to encourage you that recovery is possible. You need to accept yourself, you need to forgive yourself, and you need to realize that there is another day that's waiting for you. It's just a chapter in your life that has been messed up. And the book, the Bible tells us that in the Lord's book, that's Psalms, I think 139, they are written the number of days ordained for us. So it is a book. So if one chapter is wrong, open another chapter and start writing something fresh. For the parents out there, addiction is a chronic brain disease. Those people are not rebellious. Those people are not bewitched, because I remember my family, my grandmother told me I'm bewitched, na nikaamini nimerogwa. Mimi nimepelekwa kwa manabii, nimekunywa maji mpaka ya Nigeria. But my recovery became possible when I looked deep inside myself.
And accepted yourself.
So families, condemnation doesn't work with addicts. We toka hapa unakaa, that doesn't work. Pity party, our mothers, pity party doesn't work with addicts. We need to understand ni mgonjwa is a sick person like any other person, and they need treatment. Let me give you a quick example. Remember when Christ met Zacchaeus? Zakayo ama Zacchaeus amepanda kwa mti. When he met Zacchaeus, he never said, shuka mwizi. He told him, today I'm going to have dinner at your place. And that way, after creating that rapport, Zacchaeus said, wala wote nishaiba, I'll pay. So it's love that breaks the yoke. Let's love these people. Let's get close to them. Just like Christ loved the world and he gave his own life. Just like the prodigal son's father ran to the prodigal son. These people will not be able to run to us. Let's run to them, love them, cherish them, and help them. Thank you, Moses.
Okay, for the community, just for the community.
For the community out there, we need to join hands, because it's no longer one family's problem. Because if my son has an issue, he might end up influencing Moses' son. So for the community, let's hold hands. Let's understand that these people are sick. Let's do forums. Let's have meetings. Let's have mental health meetings and platforms. And that's why I really want to appreciate Siloam TV, because of such an opportunity to be able to reach out to the people. Because sasa ingekuwa ni kutembea kwa mtu moja moja, sitaweza, but maybe today we'll reach 1,000 people. So I really appreciate the management, and thank you very much. So community, let's love those people. That's a problem that can come to anyone.
Because I know there are not only men who drink, not only men who drink. There are ladies out there who are so much addicted, and so many people there, or even our mothers themselves. So if you have this faith that is in you, in your heart, pick that number, call, and you're going to get help. Or come visit us here at Siloam, and I am sure you're going to help someone. Thank you so much for having us, and for how we are so grateful for having you here. And I know there is a lot you have learned. Don't take it for granted. Everything is possible. So you can say bye to our viewers.
Okay, our viewers out there, thank you very much for finding the time to listen to us and to watch us. And I want to encourage you that it's not a lost case. We recover loudly, and with the help of God, we will be able to reach out to people out there and see if we can help. As Moses said, you can always reach out to me. And if you have an issue, if you have youth seminars, we can always teach these things. And God will bless us as we walk this journey.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben. So I am so grateful. Thank you. I am so happy to have you. And I remain to be Moses Mkare, and this is Siloam TV, the Arena of Revival. Thank you.